Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have been looking at the end of chapter 7 and talking about the people who do not know Bhagavan, who try to filter Bhagavan through the aperture of their own wants and don't wants. Don't wants, is that a word? Yes. And the force of their raga and dvesha decides the manner of their invocation. And since the total is invoked in the form of a tiny little result of action and a tiny little desire, they miss out on the whole. Why do they miss out on the whole? Because they are focused on the specific, the particular. And so they miss out. Because of this missing out, they continue to be ignorant, little-brained, no-brained, we saw, and they continue to make choices that are inimical to them. This much we have seen in great detail. Then the next two verses are going to contrast the other type of person who is on the right path to knowing Bhagavan as the truth of themselves. Let us chant that. And that would be verses 28 and 29. Yesham tvantagatam papam Jananam punya karmanam Te dvandva moha nirmuktaha Bhajante mam dridhavrataha Jara marana mokshaya Mamashritya yatanti ye Te brahma tadviduh kritsnam Adhyatmam karma chakhilam. Very important verses as we close out the chapter. Tu means whereas. Tu means many things, but here it means what? Whereas. Whereas means in contrast to what we have been looking at, the people who do sakama bhakti. They are also bhaktas, but they want Bhagavan, Bhagavan's help. They don't want Bhagavan. They want Bhagavan's grace and help in wanting whatever they want. And that's all. And then by contrast, these people have made Bhagavan their end. This is the difference here. So, yesham, tu, whereas, yesham, for whom, papam antagatam. We talked a lot about karma earlier in the Dindima class. Vedanta Dindima class, we had a long talk on karma, and here it says, the translation says, those for whom the papas have come to an end. Ayyayo, how is this possible? We earlier studied what? Papas never come to an end. And then here what is, they say, anta gatam. Anta means end. Gatam, gained. those whose difficult karmas have come to an end, relatively speaking, not absolutely speaking, meaning when there is papakshaya means a lightening of the load of difficult karma, then what happens? Then you have a little breakthrough. The head starts to work properly. And the correct pursuit opens up. The portals open up. Oh, they were closed till now. They were not closed. The door to Bhagavan is always wide open. Yet what did this person do? Hit the head against the wall. Repeatedly, life after life. Why? Thinking that that was the door. Did not see the opening. Like the fellow who was lost in the palace tower. By mistake he went there. Couldn't see at night. He had evening blindness, night blindness, couldn't see. He had actually gone to some function. In the palace courtyard there was some kind of a function and he got trapped in the tower. Somehow he took a flight of stairs and another and ended up in the watchtower. And he was just going round and round. He came across a sentry. My dear sir, I don't see very well. I am tired. I want to go to my village. This is not a village, the sentry said. This is what? This is not a village. This is the watchtower of the palace. Oh, I don't know, I'm lost. The sentry said, I cannot leave my post. I'm supposed to be here. And this, where I'm standing, leads to the palace, so I have to guard here. But the other side, there is an opening, and then that will lead you down a flight of stairs and another, and there is the village right down there. There is a quadrangle, anybody will just hold your hand and take you to the village, not a problem. Thank you, you have really helped me. And then so, to help him further, the sentry takes the man and puts his hand on the wall. And he says, just go like this, okay? Yeah. And when you run out of wall, that is the opening. Go down, go out of that. Yes, he says. To the sentry's surprise, 20 minutes later, he comes again. Oh, hello, sir. I don't see very well at night. And I am lost. My village is so-and-so, and I need help. What? You again? I just sent you off less than half an hour ago. What happened? Oh, it's you. Okay, well, I couldn't find the opening. What do you mean you couldn't find the opening? I told you to just hold on to the wall, and when you run out of wall, there is the opening. There is the doorway. The portal is right there. Well, I didn't find it. Tell me, did you ever take the hands off the wall? First he says, no. Then he says, yeah, I had an itch, back itch. Nicely scratched myself, but kept on walking. And then I put the hand again and I had missed the opening, and this is called papa, okay? Yeah. This is called papa. Pratibandha, obstacles. But to overcome the obstacles, there has to be a resolve. That's why it is called, they are called dridhavrataha, people who have made these resolves. And they don't let. And why have their karmas come to an end? Because they have overcome them. That's why, through free will, they haven't let the karmas stand in their way and put an eye bag and said, oh, nothing will happen. I have too many things. I have too many planets in the wrong houses, and I should not get out of bed for the rest of my life. That's what the planets are telling me. Yeah, they haven't done that. Why? Because moksha is not prarabdha, it is purushartha. Purushartha means will-based. Prarabdha means karma-based. So if you look at someone's horoscope, you can't really tell this person will have self-knowledge. You can say that there are certain factors that will make them interested in texts such as the Bhagavad Gita Upanishad. Why? Because it all depends on your free will. And so these are people who haven't let a few karmic blows stop them cold in their pursuits. They haven't done that. They have overcome the hold of karma. They have almost near falsified karma, falsified the karta. They have done that. They have done what we saw earlier. I just love how the classes just intersect. It's beautiful. They have falsified the karta, themselves as karta, doer, and so they are free. Free to do what? And so they are described as yesham, for whom antagatam papam. Papam, all the difficulties, challenges, the papas are antagatani, papani. Yesham te antagatam papam. Then yesham jananam, for these people. Why is there is one more reason why the papas have come to an end? Because they are described as punya karman, punya karma. Punya karma means they have balanced out the papa and overwhelmed the papa with punya, meritorious actions. They have a whole life of dharma. And in this whole life of righteous action and everything, they have overpowered the papa by their good deeds. So these people, for such people, what happens? Te dvandva moha nirmuktaha. As a result, they are free of confusions. What kind of confusions? Should I pursue Brahman or not? Confusion. Should I pursue Brahman for the sake of getting something, or should I pursue Brahman for just for its own sake? Confusion. Does Brahman have attributes, or does Brahman not have attributes? Another kind of confusion. How will knowing Brahman make me free? One more confusion. Why only Brahman I should know? Why can't I get to know the neighbor instead? Because you said everything is Brahman. Sarvam khalvidam Brahma. Right? Everything is Brahman. Upanishad Vakya. And then neighbor what? Neighbor is Brahman or not? Yes. So I'll just get to know the neighbor. Why should I bother about Brahman? Confusion. Neighbor is Brahman, Brahman is not the neighbor. Okay? Yeah. In case one is wondering, what is a compelling argument? Why should I not get to know the neighbor instead of Brahman? So, all these confusions are there for them. These confusions are gone. Moha nirmuktaha. Mohat nirmuktaha. From delusion they are free. Nishchayena muktaha nirmuktaha. They are totally free. Free of what? Any kind of confusion. And they are free of dvandva. They are not caught in the vice grip of duality. Hot, cold. Dukkha, sorrow, happiness. Then what else? Good, bad, dharma, adharma. These kinds of dualities, as we saw yesterday, are the scaffolding of samsara. You know, if you're building a new building, You first have to take some bamboo poles and tie them together in order to be able to climb on it and then supervise how the bricks are being laid, etc. This is a common sight in India. That's how you know a building is coming up. They have a kind of a scaffolding, and then around the building, around the walls that are going to come up, and the workers are standing on these bamboo poles and then supervising and putting the bricks, and the masons and the architects, all of them are standing on these bamboo scaffolding. So just like you have this scaffolding, the dvandva becomes the scaffolding of the mind. All kinds of opposites, they are the bamboo poles, and then they cause an entrapment. In that very duality, there is an entrapment. And that entrapment here is what is being said they are free of. To give another example, when Nachiketa goes to Lord Yama, which Upanishad? Kathopanishad. In the Kathopanishad, he asks for this knowledge in a very interesting and to us in a peculiar way. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. Tell me that which is not within the dyad, dvandva, of the dharma and adharma. Right? Wrong. Anyatra kritat, akritat. Which is not within the dyad of papa, punya. Another dvandva. Anyatra bhutacha, bhavyacha. Which is not within the dyad of time, past and then future, and also present. Yat tat pashyasi, tat tad vada. Tell me that which you know. Tell me that which you understand. Because as long as we are caught in this dyad, it is still within the scope of the three gunas, about which we have talked extensively. It is still within the scope of the samsara, because the whole samsara is divided. It is all dual. Duality is there. And when we look deeply into duality, it is nothing but subjectivity. Duality is based on subjectivity. How do you decide between good and bad? What is good? Somebody who is a farmer prays for the rain. Oh Lord, send me rain. Crops are dying. I want to make a profit. Rain, rain, come again, please, send me rain. Another person, literally, like today, is planning the daughter's wedding. Okay? And then she too prays, no rain, please. We can imagine it's an outdoor wedding with some tents and everything. No rain, please, take away the rain. Why no rain? Because the guests will get wet. Everything will get wet. And the food will all have extra water as an ingredient. What does this consist of? And you can say, yes, it has rice, it has dal, and rainwater, third ingredient. So this person is praying, no rain. No rain is good. Rain is bad. From the perspective of the farmer who wants to sell the food, then rain is good. No rain is bad. You see, it is all subjective. Again, it is based on raga dvesha. Good, bad, this, that, all these things, these dualities. And therefore, to be caught in the duality means one is losing a vantage point, a vista point. So in this country, when you go to some national parks and some other places like that, even before you approach these parks, then there will be a little, it won't be an exit, it will be a board, vista point. So you can take that, there will be a parking lot and you can have a nice picture of everything there, forest, ocean, whatever you are looking at. That vantage point one misses if one is mired and caught by the scaffolding of duality. And what have these people done? They have overcome this getting caught in the good and the bad. Why? Because for them nothing is bad. That differentiation is not there. Good, bad, dharma, adharma, nothing. It's all one. It's all one undifferentiated Brahman, which is the truth of themselves. And they know this. And so, this is an example of what is called Nishkama Bhakti, a bhakti which has as its end Bhagavan alone and not something you can get from Bhagavan. Bhajante, they serve me, they invoke me, they worship me. Who are they? Dridhavrataha. Dridhavrataha means courageous ones. Dridha means staying power. Dhriti, that courage, staying power, the ability to stay with the Purushartha called moksha. Moksha is not chosen for you, you have to choose it. You can't say, if I am supposed to get moksha, then some guru will call me, somehow airlift me and plop me in the middle of a Vedanta course, a Vedanta class. And if that happens, I will study. If that doesn't happen, that means the Lord Himself, herself, does not want this for me. Sounds very persuasive, right? Yeah, very convincing. And I will buy this argument, no problem, if you have the same attitude towards the next meal. No problem. If you just do the same thing, let the eyes go up, bhruvor madhye, and let the eyes go up and have a look of vairagya. This is the look of vairagya. And then say what? If the Lord is supposed, if it is written in my prarabdha for me to eat, let the food come on a little zip line all the way to my mouth. Let the machine come and open the jaws. And then put the food. Then if I am meant to eat, I will eat. If that is your attitude about everything, then this also I will happily accept. But this person, such a person, what do? They say first that they have no problem aggressively, ambitiously pursuing every other end. Artha, kama, kama, artha, artha, kama, kama, artha. They don't have any problem. Setting the sights on the sky, which is even the sky is not the limit for such people. But when it comes to the most important pursuits, false vairagya, inauthentic dispassion this is. Double standards. So dridhavrataha means opposite of that. Opposite of that. Totally opposite of that. Come what may, I am going to pursue this. Yes, there will be obstacles. Who says there won't be obstacles? There is an obstacle. Are you 5 years old? Crying for mummy whenever there is an obstacle? Deal with it. Of course there will be obstacle. Be like the river. Suddenly it confronts a mountain. What does it do? It goes around. It goes around. Go around the obstacle. Find ways. Pray. Pray to be shown the way. Of course there will be obstacles. That doesn't mean, if you keep looking for signs, all kinds of signs will come. Again, the art of looking for signs, it is very difficult to master. It's not easy to master. Then everything is a sign. Actually, Carl Jung also said that. Everything is a sign, but then how to read the sign, especially when I have already ragas and dveshas towards something and away from something. How to read the sign? Like that man who was going to fix up his daughter's wedding, climbed into the train, Pujya Swamiji's story, climbed into the train, had some misgivings. This was before SMS and video calls and everything. They had just spoken through letters. And the sambandhis, what are they called? The in-laws, the prospective in-laws, they seemed to have some problems. They seemed very haughty and distant and aloof in the letters. Oh, will my daughter be happy in such a household? How will they treat her? He was a little bit worried. Oh Lord, show me a sign, he said, as soon as he got on the train. Outside the train, some fellow was selling spiced potato dipped in batter and fried. What is it called? Bondas. Bonda, 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 bonda. This fellow was a little hard of hearing. And languages like Tamil, Malayalam, etc., they are very economical in terms of letters. The pakara bakarayoho abhedaha. This fellow heard it as ponda. Ponda means don't go, don't go, don't go. He said, ayyo, what a terrible sign. He got off the train. Then he said, oh, but the boy is so qualified. What do we have to do with the in-laws? They may as well be outlaws. Who cares? We just need the young bride and the groom to be happy together. And he seems to be very well read. He seems to be polite. He seems to be the kind of person who will be very happy, who will keep my daughter happy. Come on, I'm being foolish. Again schlepped his bag, got up the train, sat down, and he said, no, I am not going to be foolish anymore. And then I'm just going to look out of the window, distract myself until this stupid train moves. Because once it moves, I'm all right. Because the Bonda man is not getting on the train. He is going to be left on the station, and I can, out of sight, out of mind, and I can go on my journey, on my purpose. Again the voices came closer. Bonda, Bonda, which he heard as Ponda, Ponda. When it happened for the third time, he said, okay, 3 times is, strike 3. I am getting off. Did not get on the train. This is the opposite of Dridha Vrata. Dridha Vrata means resolve. The resolve is not, is not shaken. And these signs which people see, they see all the time. But only sometimes the signs become relevant. There is a cat next door. And then whenever you go out, it comes and rubs against you, and you also pet it, and you have nothing against it. But today morning you are going for a job interview. The cat also has an interview with a squirrel which is running. Cat also has an appointment with a squirrel. It crosses your path and, oh, did I mention it was black? Yeah. And this lovely cat that you actually care about, and then suddenly it has crossed the path. Oh no, it crosses the path every day. You don't even pay attention. But today somehow, because the mind is unstable and vulnerable, So every sign seems to be pointed in the wrong direction. This is what happened to Arjuna in the first chapter. Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani cha Keshava. He also starts seeing things, hearing things. The jackals in the forest started to cry. Why they cried, God only knows. Okay, they howled. Maybe it was the full moon, who knows? And they howled. And Arjuna thought they are saying, don't fight the war. Why? Because he did not want to fight the war. And so when the mind is vulnerable, it becomes very like a precipice. This way, that way, this way, that way. There is no resolve. And one goes after every sign. And the sign, of course, is interpreted in accordance to one's strong prejudices and preferences. But these people described here are not like that. They have vairagya. Vairagya is objectivity. They have objectivity. They are objective to the situation. And they have gone through great lengths and overcome many, many hoops in order to do what? In order to find Bhagavan and have this knowledge of Bhagavan. Further, next one. This is a wonderful verse. Verse number 29. Over this, Pujya Swamiji gave, I think, 30 classes just over this verse. 10-day retreat right here. And then I remember very well, this was I think in 2001 or something like that. And I remember very well that it had been advertised as a verse, as an important verse in the Bhagavad Gita. 5 days he talked and talked. Nobody even knew which verse. Every day people are thinking, which verse is this? Which verse is this? Then finally, I think on the 6th day, it began, or the 5th day, half the camp was over, and then he revealed which verse it was. It was this one. This verse, and there are a few other verses like this, which give the entire purport of the Bhagavad Gita in one verse. Another verse of note is the 46th verse in the 18th chapter. Yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmanatam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. That verse and this one have a lot in common, and we'll have fun understanding this. What do they have in common? Number one, they unfold the entire theme of the Bhagavad Gita in a précis form, beautiful, in a short way. And then the next thing they have in common is that they usually come in the sequence, they come at an important juncture. This one at the end of chapter 7. That one in the middle of chapter 18. And there also we'll see why it's an important juncture. So they come at an important juncture where they act as a cement to connect what has gone before to what is going to come later. That is the second reason such verses are very important. And the third reason is that the important themes of the Bhagavad Gita in the form of, what are the themes? The Brahma Vidya, theme number 1. The knowledge of oneself as Brahman. Theme number 2, karma, karma yoga. How does this karma yoga, why is this karma yoga necessary? How does it connect to Brahma Vidya? All this, these two verses talk about. That's why such verses are seen as important. They stand apart. So let's see how this one does that. let's look at that one first. Then we'll come to see this one and appreciate this by itself. So in the 18th chapter, the verse in the 18th chapter says, Yataha means from which, causeless cause. Yasmat karanat. Pravrittihi means origin. Bhutanam, of all the beings. From which the origin of all beings has taken place. Yena sarvam idam tatam, by which everything is pervaded. By which, causeless cause, which is Bhagavan, everything is still pervaded. Worshipping that which is the truth of everything, by which everything is pervaded, which is the cause of everything, which is the cause of the origin of all beings. Worshipping that how? With the flowers in the form of my own karma, actions. Correct actions done at the correct time with the correct attitude, karma yoga. With the awareness of Ishvara. Swakarmana, by one's own karma, tam Ishvaram abhyarchya, having worshipped through my own karma. Instead of expensive flowers and other things, what do? I just give I offer my karma well done. Well done means proper attitude, proper time, proper place. With a pure and loving heart it is offered. Siddhim vindati manavaha. The person, siddhi means success, accomplishment. The person gains siddhi. This siddhi is both to be looked upon as relative and absolute. What is relative siddhi? The person has a calm mind, no conflict, drishtaphala, immediate result of this attitude of karma yoga, etc. So the person has the correct attitude and the immediate result is tranquility, no conflict, peace of mind, etc. Then there is a long-term result as well, not just an immediate result. What is the long-term result? Gets connected to Atmajnanam and understands this causeless cause as the truth of oneself. That siddhi, the second siddhi, is moksha. Not the second siddhi, the second meaning of the word siddhi is moksha. Siddhi must not be understood as, oh, I'll just go like this. And then what will happen? Ash will come out. Better if cash comes out. Yeah. Why ash? That is not the siddhi which is being talked here. There are, I think, 8 of them. Ashta siddhaya. So 8 siddhis are there. Hanumanji had all of them. And he could, Anima, Laghima, Garima, all these are siddhis. He could become tiny when he wanted. He could become huge when he wanted. He demonstrated both these siddhis, one on the way to Sri Lanka and one while in Sri Lanka. Caused an immediate oil shortage. The prices of crude oil went up because he became so big that Ravana wanted to punish him. Said, oh, put this monkey. The monkey was brought, Hanumanji was brought in chains. Unchain this monkey. But after wrapping his tail in cloth dipped in oil, set it on fire. I want to have live entertainment. Thank God we have cable TV. We don't need to resort to these things. What a horrible entertainment. I want to see the monkey jumping from here to there. Put his tail on fire. And he used this Garima Siddhi and became so huge. All the oil sellers were out of job, out of business. First crude oil shortage in history. Prices went up per barrel like anything. Because they could only wrap half his tail, not even half, a little small portion, and then he got Ravana got very impatient and said, no, I want to see the entertainment, enough. And the quote-unquote monkey, Hanumanji, had fun. He first jumped on the palace with a burning tail, set the palace on fire. And as they were busy trying to douse the flames, he set a few other buildings on fire and then went off and went back to India. And even that, how to become small, he knew, because when he was jumping to Sri Lanka, one terrible demoness came and said, hey, you said you would enter my mouth in your next life. That's now. Come on, enter my mouth. He became smaller than a fly. Went in, came out. That's not the siddhi here. Those siddhis are not much fun. What is that? Telepathy. Reading other people's mind, that's the most boring siddhi ever. Have you read your own mind? What thoughts are you having? Do you find them interesting? No. Okay, do you think other people's thoughts are going to be more interesting? Not at all. Most boring siddhi is to read other people's minds. This is not the siddhi being talked about here. Siddhi is relative goals and the absolute goal of dropping relative goals. That is the absolute goal, moksha. So both these the person will get. That is the purport of the verse in the 18th chapter. Here too, it's very beautiful. Let us see. Jara marana mokshaya. Mokshaya, for the sake of moksha. From what? Jara maranabhyam mokshaya. For freedom from jara. What is jara? Geriatry, old age. Old age. Freedom from old age. Marana means Abba. Okay. Death. Marana is death. And then jara is old age. Of all the 6 modifications we saw earlier, this death and old age are the most feared. Old age is a problem, not only for you but others around you also. Why? Because you complain so much. Oh, back is hurting. Oh, knee pain. Oh, can't eat that. Can't eat this. Can't go there. Can't go here. You know what happened last month? You know what happened the month before? Like this. Difficult to deal with. And very, very scary, because every day one faculty is becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. And then one thinks, until yesterday I was okay, what happened today? And then all the things come to mind. Ayurveda, this Veda, that medicine, this medicine. And then what? It's just a lot of money gone, that's all. The vyadhi, the disease stays. Disease rules you, okay? The disease rules the person and then the money goes, that's all. Old age, one day this, one day that. And then these days, because of the medical advances, the old age is very much, you can stretch this old age. You can make a person keep on living. And when one is 40, what is that? 1/4 of the diet, food, is pills. 50, half the food is pills. 80, 3/4 of the food is pills. After that, may as well be on a feeding tube. So this is how it goes. Every time new things have to be added to the regimen. And then one can live long, yes, but then what? You have to take this, you have to do that, you have to do this. And then, of course, there are the infamous side effects. I don't know why they are called side effects. They are very predominant actually. And to overcome the side effects, you need more medicines which will also have side effects, etc., etc., etc. Never ending. This is jara. This is just the physical aspect of what is called jara, old age. Then there is the emotional aspect. Nobody comes to visit me because they are all busy. The elderly person is retired. The other people are busy, including their own sons and daughters, their own offsprings. They are the busiest of all. They are very busy, they are leading their lives, they are going here, going there. And then what? Nobody comes to see me. Nobody listens to me. So that is the emotional aspect of aging, feeling that I don't fit in anywhere, feeling that the world is going by and I am not part of it anymore. Especially if one is not mentally prepared with Vedanta. That's why Vedanta is such a buffer. It is just so priceless. It helps in so many ways. It opens a vista which makes you strong and which keeps you entertained regardless of other people's behaviors, other people's beliefs, other people's conducts with regard to you. So, jara and marana. Marana means death, and that is very, very scary. Death is seen as decimation, and death is seen as the end, even for people who believe in reincarnation, etc., etc. Still, it is the end of this particular life, and so there is sorrow and fear. So, jara maranabhyam mokshaya, for the sake of gaining liberty from the hold of old age, disease, marked by disease, loneliness, etc., and death. Yatanti ye, those who strive to be free of the hold, the vicious hold of disease, old age, and death. How do they strive? They run from doctor to doctor? No. They look for new medical innovations? No. Perhaps they are interested in alchemy, how to cheat death, philosopher's stone, and elixir of life? No. So how do they work to be free of old age and death? Mam ashritya. Taking refuge in me, meaning the knowledge of me, the knowledge of Bhagavan. Taking refuge in the knowledge of Bhagavan, taking refuge in me, yatanti, they work. Work means they study. They understand themselves as already free of old age and death, regardless of what actually happens in old age and death. Old age is not owned up as I am old, is not what is being talked about here. They have outgrown that identity with the stages of life, with the body, etc. And so they strive for freedom from old age and death, keeping me in view, taking my help, surrendering to me, surrendering to Bhagavan, and keeping Bhagavan as the antidote, the elixir which is the antidote to old age and death. What is Bhagavan? Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Knowing myself as Bhagavan, I too am free of the emotional ravages of old age and death. I am free of fear, I am free of sorrow, I am free of pain, etc., etc., etc. And so, keeping me in view, these people work, yatanti, those who work. And who are they? Te brahma tat viduhu kritsnam. I call them the knowers of Brahman, completely, without a whiff of error, vagueness, lack of clarity, doubt. They are free of that. They know Brahman as themselves, because there is no other way to know Brahman, because Brahman is not a object. So how do they know Brahman? Brahman adhyatmam. Adhyatmam means as oneself. More about that we will see in the next verse and in the next chapter also. They know Brahman as adhyatmam Brahma. There is no other Brahma than adhyatmam. Atmanam adhikritya tishtati. Centered on the I is called adhyatmam. So they know Brahman as centered on I, aham. They know Brahman as centered on I. Then, and also, te brahma tadviduh kritsnam adhyatmam karmacha akhilam. They also know karma in its entirety. What do you mean they know karma? They know karma. They know what is karma. They know what is not karma. And they know that karma is a projection. We saw earlier in the verse that is chanted before meals, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahmakarma samadhina. So there it's shown how one is free of karma, and in fact one is free of all factors of action. So we have factors of action in the grammatical word cases. First case, nominative, object of the sentence. I go to the village. The village becomes the object. Second case, instrumental case. I go to the village on my bicycle, with the help of the bicycle. That is instrumental case. Then what is the purpose of action? Why did you go to the village? Why do you go to the village? For bhiksha, purpose of action. Fourth case, dative case. Yes, you are going to the village on your bicycle for bhiksha. From where? What is the origin of this action? Another village, gramantarat, another village. I go from one village to another village. So are you going by yourself? No, I'm going with two other people. That becomes, who are they? They are my friends, let us say. My friends, genitive case, possessive case. Then finally, where is this village located? This village is located in this particular province, in this particular state. Locative case. These are what are called karakas, factors that comprise what we call action. But then, in this mantra, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi, everything is Brahman. Who is the one it is thought of, it is visualized as a fire ritual. Arpanam. Arpana here means spoon. The sacrificial chalice is called arpanam. The sacrificial spoon, chamas, that spoon is called arpanam, through which the ghee is given. What is that? Now whatever I ask, the answer is Brahman, okay? Yeah. So what is the sacrificial spoon? Brahman. And then in the spoon you are not offering it empty. Inside that you are putting ghee, etc. What is the ghee? Havihi? Brahman. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi. What is the fire? Brahman. Brahmagnau, where it is put. That is the locative case. Okay? And then Brahmagnau. And then let's say you have engaged a priest to do the homa on your behalf. A Brahmana. Who is this Brahmana? Brahman. Brahmana hutam. That's the instrumental. Through this Brahmana, this thing is happening. And then, why are you doing this? Because I want happiness in my life. What is happiness in your life? Hello? Brahman, yes. Yeah. Even after telling the answer, it doesn't come. That is a miracle, actually. So, Gantavyam, what is to be reached? Brahman. Through this action, what is the outcome that I desire? Brahman. And who is the one who has arranged all this? Me. I am the Yajamana. Who is the Yajamana? Brahman. So where is the action? Where is the actor? Actor Brahman, action Brahman, instrument Brahman. Purpose of the action Brahman. Object of action Brahman. Subject Brahman. Location Brahman. And all other accoutrements which are connected to this action Brahman. No action, no actor, no instrument. They know the truth of karma. Everything is Brahman alone. There is no karta, there is no karma, there is no action. And if there is no action and no actor, is there result of action? No. Say no even if you want to say yes. Okay? Is there result of action? No. There is not. And if there is no result of action, is there papa punya? No. This is all from that we have gone to the vista point. Okay? We are taking the vantage view. We are not mired in the actor, action, this kind of a thing. We have come to a different vantage point. And from this standpoint, everything is Brahman. I am Brahman. And so they know Brahman as themselves. And they know the spoof of karma also. That karma is also Brahman. There is no such thing as anything away from Brahman. They know that Adhyatmam, Karmacha, Akhilam. Akhilam, they know all this. And then there is a slightly cryptic verse at the end, which we will reserve for tomorrow, but we'll chant it today. Sadhi bhutadhi daivam mam Sadhi yajnancha ye viduhu Prayanakalepi cha mam Te viduryukta chetasaha Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadagya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om